the supplies you're going to need are 80 4mm bicone beads. You're going to need an arm's length of the monofilament fishing wire. For this purpose, the video purpose, I'm actually using the fire line on a needle just to show you. And I'm also using 6mm beads, but you're going to want to use 4mm. So you're going to start with 4 beads on the thread. You're going to do right angle weave. And then what you're going to do is you could either tie a knot, or you can go through all the beads like I'm doing. And then you can tie a knot. Whatever you feel comfortable with doing. You just need to start with the circle. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hide the knot. I'm going to go through a couple of beads just to hide it. And then I'm going to cut the tail off so it doesn't get in my way. Okay, now to get started, we're going to add 3 beads. And you're going to loop around the opposite side where the thread is coming out of. And that's going to form a circle. So you already have 1. This is 2. Now for a 5-point star, you're going to need to do 19 of these circles. So I'm going to stop after about 3 of them, and then I'm going to come back. I'm just going to show you how to do a few more. So to get into position for your next round, you're going to go up a bead and then across the top. And now you're in position to do another one. So you take your 3 beads, and then you're going to loop where the opposite side of the thread that's coming out, and you're going to make another circle. So you're going to get yourself into position, which is going up a bead and then across the top. So now do this 19 times. I mean a total of 19. So far we have 3. So I'm going to show you how you count it so you keep track. So now you just go on the side and just count the beads on the side. So we have 3. I'll see you in a little while. Now that we have 19, we're going to count it again just to double check. 19 right there. So now we're going to connect the piece. We're going to make it into a big circle. And to do that, you're going to take 2 beads. You're going to pick one up, and then the side that your thread is going out of, with this on the right side, you're going to go opposite through the bead that on the other side. And then you're going to pick up another bead. And you're going to go through that bead that you just started with on the opposite side. Okay, then when you pull, it's going to connect the piece. Okay, now to get into position, you want to go up the one bead where the thread is coming out, the one next to it. You want to go up a bead. Okay, so now you're in position to start your point. So there's your thread. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick up 2 beads. No, I'm sorry, you're going to pick up 1 bead. Now you're going to skip 2 beads and go through the 3rd. So those are the 2 you're going to skip, and now you're going through that 3rd bead. And then you're going to loop, you're going to pick up 2 beads, and then you're going to go back 3. I'm going to show you. You're going to count back 3, and you're going to go through all 3. So let me show you the 3 that you're going to go through. So you're coming out right there. So you're coming out of that bead. That's going to be 1. The bead that you just added is 2. And the bead that you started with is the 3rd one. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick up 2 beads. It's hard to explain, but you'll see as I show you. There's your 2 beads. Now you're going to count back 3. That one, the one that you just added, and that one that you first started with. And you're going to loop through all 3 of those. That's the one that you, to get into position, that's the bead. That's the one you just added, and that's the bead that you're coming out of. And now you made like a loop. And now when you pull it, there's your first point of the star. Oops. So there you go. So there's your first point. So now to get to the next point and get into position is you're going to go through the next bead in the row, like how we started before. So you're coming out of the side. So you're going to go through that next bead. And now you're in position for your next point. Now you're going to pick up 1 bead. You're going to skip those 2 beads. So you're coming out of that bead right there. You're going to pick up a bead, and now you're going to skip 2 and go through the 3rd. And then the next step is going to be picking up 2 beads, and you're going to go back through all those 3 beads. You're looping back through the one you're coming out of, the one you just added, and then the first bead that you got into position with. So see, when you pull it tight, those are the 3 beads. You're just going to loop through those 3. So pick up the 2. This really is an easy piece. Once you get used to this, it's so simple. So there's your one that you're coming out of, the one that you just added, and that first bead that you were coming out of before. Now you're just going to go through all those 3. Now this is to make a 5-point star. If you want to make a 6-point star, I do have a video also on my channel. There's instructions there too. But the only difference is it's exactly the same way. The only difference is instead of making 19 rounds, you do 23. And then that adds 1 more point. Okay, so now we're going to get into position for the next round. For the next point. So you're going to go up the next bead. Okay, now you're going to pick up a bead. You're going to skip 2 beads and go through the 3rd. And there's the 3 that you're going to go through again. So you got the one you're coming out of, the one that you just added and the one that you first started with. So you pick up your 2 beads and go through all 3. Loop like a loop. And pull that, and there's your other point. So now we have 3 points going. We have 2 more to go. So get your needle in position. So you go through that next bead, pick up a bead. Let me zoom out a little so you can see it a little bit better. Coming out of that bead, you're going to pick up a bead, you're going to skip 2 and go through the 3rd. You're going to pick up 2 beads, and then you're going to count back 3. That's 1, the one that you just added, and then the first one. So you're going to go through all those 3. We're on our last one, so get your needle in position. Pick up a bead, skip 2, go through the 3rd. Now this is made with, like I said, 6mm, so it's kind of big and floppy and flimsy. When you make it with the 4mm, it's a little bit tighter. So you pick up your 2 beads. You're gonna go back 3. And then you're gonna go through all 3. And then at this point, what I usually do is when I'm done with the last point, I'll reinforce the piece. I'll go around it a couple of times to get it nice and tight before I go to the back of the piece. But I'm not going to do that right now. But so there it is. And now you got to bring your thread all the way to the back. So you're going to go, like, you find a bead that could bring you to the back, which is usually the top. So we're coming out of here. Like I said, it's a little flimsy because it's 6mm. So you put your thread up across the top so that you wind up in the back of the piece. And then to get into position, you're just going to go up 1 bead. Go up that 1 bead. Now you're going to add a bead. You want that bead to sit in between, so I'm going to show you. Pick up a bead, you're going to skip 2, so there's your thread. You're going to skip 2 and you're going to go down the 3rd. So 1, 2, go down the 3rd. Now this is going to reinforce the point. Turn your piece over and you're going to go up 1 bead. So the pattern is go up a bead, add a bead, go down a bead, turn. And you just keep repeating that. So you go up 1 bead, you're going to add a bead, skip 2, go down the 3rd. And then you're going to turn your piece. And you're going to do that again. The pattern again, go up a bead, skip 2, go down the 3rd. And be careful where your thread is. See what I did? Now I almost made a knot. So now let me pull my thread, my needle back through. Okay, so now you're going to add a bead. Skip 2 beads, go down the third. See how nice and tight it's becoming? So we're going to do that again. We're going to add a bead, and we're going to go up a bead. Sorry, don't miss that step. Go up a bead. Add a bead. And then skip 2, go down the third. Go up a bead. You add a bead. Skip 2, go down the third. And then when you're all done, you want to just, like you did in the front, is you're going to go around each bead and just reinforce it to make it as tight as you like. And then what you could do is you could make a seed bead bail. Those are pretty simple. Or if you have a pinch bail, you can do that. Or you could just string, you could go ahead and string a chain through it. However you would like it. So now just go around the piece and reinforce it. I'm not going to show it to you, but you get the idea. Just go around it like that a couple of times, because this is too flimsy, the 6mm. And that's it. I hope you like it. You want to go on the inside and the outside. So there it is. There's your 5-point star.